Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today we are back with week 4 of the GBA. The Melbourne Rotoms this week are going up against, I actually need to double check the name, the Detroit Steelwings, which is the team of CrimsonCBAD. So I'm really excited to be playing him. I feel like I've been learning a lot the last couple of weeks, and last week was definitely a very, very winnable match, and I feel like I definitely feel like I'm improving, and even though last week we did end up losing, I feel like, it was just like one or two plays that really could have swayed the thing, or swayed the battle, and I generally, feel like I'm playing at least a little bit better than I was on the first week. I feel like in week 1 I really just got blown back, but now I feel like I have a slightly stronger of understanding of how I should be playing. So we are going to go into team preview, and he did bring most of the Pokemon expected. Like I expected Thundurus, the Jirachi, the Suicune, the Tangela, and the Cofagrigus. I just wasn't sure of the last one, but it's good to confirm that. And there's no Beedrill, which was one thing I was curious about, but that makes sense because it gets outsped by most of my things. I anticipated for that, so my Ludicolo actually wasn't EV to outspeed Beedrill. But I'm just going to quickly write down his team. Tangela, Thundurus, Jirachi. The Donphan is interesting, and that's definitely something that could potentially set up Stealth Rocks. But I actually did put Stealth Rocks on my own Swampert. People were like, oh, maybe you should try using rocks, and I don't have that many. I think Pert might be my only rocks user, but I figured it'd be a good time to try it out. So I'm actually thinking of leading with Mimikyu here. I am running the Focus Sash variant so I could Swords Dance, and I don't have to worry about, I want to eliminate Thundurus, because if I eliminate Thundurus, then that paves the way for Pelipper to set up the rain and really just sweep from there. So I think I'm going to go with my Mimikyu lead, which I thought of. I am going with, the relatively same team comps as before, but these Pokemon, Rain just feels really good against this team, because it hits everything for neutral other than Tangela and Suicune, and Ludicolo deals with both of those really well, especially because I am Assault Vested. And Kingdra can hit them for decently hard as well as Kartana, being able to just Z-Grass into the Suicune. So, we're going to go up into our Week 4 matchup. I'd really like a win here. Next week is definitely going to be a tough one. We're going up against, blanking out on the name, but he is undefeated and one of the top players in the league right now. So, yeah, my goal for the GBA really is just to learn, and I definitely feel like that is, being accomplished, so that's good. And we're actually going to see the Cofagrigus. Okay. So after facing against that in VGC, literally in my, 2 battles ago, we're going to go up against it here. I'll take that. I mean, I feel like I can just Swords Dance freely here. It could have Will-O-Wisp. But, I'm fine getting Will-O-Wisp, honestly. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Swords Dance turn 1. He stays in. Okay, that's fine. What is he going to go for? He just Shadow Balls. Okay, so since I'm sashed, I'll be able to obviously even take another one. I am curious on how much damage I'll do against, whether I will knock it out at +2. I don't have the Life Orb, so I don't think so. But I do want to double check that. Ooh, it's close. It's dependent on how he's EV'd. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for another. I'm just gonna Shadow Claw here, I think. Yeah, if he's max HP and he has any defense investment, he should survive. But getting the knockout here would be pretty nice, just because this is kind of just an obnoxious Pokemon to deal with in general. It is quite bulky, and Mimikyu is one of my better answers to deal with it. So, yeah, I expected him to lead Thundurus, but this is also fine. If I got the knockout, that'd be amazing, because it would conserve my Sash. He actually switches out, which is great for me, too. So, let's see what's coming in. It's going to be the Tangela. Okay. So, we saw Shadow Ball. Wow, that was a crit, and it did that little. Jeez. That is so defensively bulky. He must be max HP and defense. I mean, I could just switch out into Pelipper to get the rain going. And I think that's actually the play I'm going to go for. Because I want to conserve the Sash on Mimikyu for the Thundurus in the back, because that is going to have the Z move. I just am scared of getting sniped by a HP Electric right now, but that shouldn't even knock me out. So let's see. He just Giga Drains. Okay, that's fine. That actually did more than I anticipated, but that's still okay with me. I'm going to take this opportunity to U-turn out, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to U-turn out in case he switches out. This gives me a free switch into my Ludicolo too, and I still conserve Pelipper. He switches out. Okay, cool. That's fine. And Real Steel's coming in. Was that the Jirachi? Okay, works with me. So I'll be able to U-turn out, and now I can go into my Swampert. I think that's what I want to go into. Yeah. So it's Stomper, and now I could take the opportunity to actually go for my Rocks instead of going for an EQ. And I think I will want a Rocks here. It's also Lefty's Jirachi. So, good to confirm that. I think I'm going to Mega Evolve and Rocks here. Yeah. Oh, but Jirachi, it could Grass Knot me, I guess, but it's Lefty, so I assume it's bulkier. And it switches out. Okay, good. I just remember running Grass Jirachi before. But getting Rocks up will be huge here for me. So that's good. This next turn, I'm probably going to pull the switch out into... Now, I could switch into Kartana, theoretically. But I think I probably like the Ludi switch in more, just because I can... Like, it can't really do anything against Ludicolo. So getting Rocks up is now really good for me, especially because of the calcs against Thundurus. And I think I want to pull the switch here right now into Ludicolo. Yeah. It's just a shame because I lost my Mimikyu's Disguise, so maybe I should have played a little bit safer with it. But I figured against the lead matchup it'd be okay. I just underestimated how bulky Tangela is with the Eviolite. Yeah, I'm going to pull the switch here into Ludicolo. I do have the Assault Vest, so I'll be able to take a Giga Drain fine. You can't Sleep Powder me either. And just in general, I don't think Tangela can do anything here. So he does pull out the switch out, but that's fine because now I'm in a position where Ludi can match up pretty nicely against any of his Pokemon. So there's the Jirachi coming in. It's going to take negligible damage. So now the question is whether I want to just start attacking with Ludicolo or I want to pull the switch out again. That was a nice switch, so I could have considered just Earthquaking there, but that does seem rather risky. There's still 4 turns of Rain, and I do want to make use of my Rain, so I think I'm just going to Scald this turn to get some quick damage off, see how bulky exactly this Jirachi is, and see what it goes for in return. It does an okay amount of damage. We actually see the Trick Room come out. Okay. So that was something I was wondering whether... Like, I haven't faced up against Trick Room thus far yet in the GBA, but that is interesting to see. I'm not too concerned about that. Like, nothing can really sweep me too much. But I would probably like to conserve Ludicolo for the sake of dealing with Suicune and Donphan, even Thundurus, and Tangela, actually. So I don't... Like, we've seen just Trick Room right now from Jirachi. I should slow down my play a little bit. I've been playing very fast and aggressive. I kind of want to just Scald again here, but I'm scared of taking, say, a Zen Headbutt, because I don't know whether this is a physical or special variant. So I could just switch back out into my Swampert. I also want to double check how many turns of Rain are left. There's still 3 turns. I could just Scald again. Let me see how much a Zen Headbutt would do. Because Scald did only around 30%. So Ludicolo against Jirachi. Like, this Jirachi should definitely be pretty bulky. Scald in the Rain. Yeah, this has got to be bulky Jirachi. I think I'm just going to stay in and Scald again just to scout out. He might switch out. Oh, he just Psychics. Okay, cool. So I'm AV, so I should take that pretty well. But I do get a special defense drop. That's kind of annoying, but oh well. Because without that special defense drop, I'd probably just stay in and Hydro Pump again. But Scald is still doing good damage. But I think I probably want to switch out this turn because of the special defense drop. I could go into Pert. Pert would probably take that decently. I want to stall out Trick Room because I don't want to give him the opportunity to really sweep me under Trick Room. I could just stay in and Hydro Pump. The question is whether it's worth taking that extra damage with Ludicolo. And honestly, I'm not sure it is because of how good Ludi is against my opponent's team. So I'm contemplating just switching out back out into Pert right now. Psychic shouldn't really do too much against it, but it could get another special defense drop. Pert is also really good against his team, although it's really mainly for the Jirachi. So you know what? I'm going to switch out into Swampert. Yeah. I got my Rocks up, which is what I wanted with the Pert, and Pert still puts on a lot of offensive presence. Ooh, Wish. That's cool. So I wonder if it's Protect as well. even if it is, I mean, Trick Room's going to be stalled out, and I can just Earthquake it. The question is whether I want to predict the switch out right now. If you have Protect, you definitely go for it here, right? Otherwise, like, I want to Ice Punch, but he could just go for a Psychic. Ice Punch, it would be for Thundurus and for the Tangela. I could Waterfall as well. Yeah, you know, I'm going to Waterfall instead. Okay, he does switch out. Ideally, like, Thundurus comes in, but it's just the Tangela again. But that's fine, because now what I can do is just switch back out into my Pelipper. Yeah. Yeah, Waterfall doesn't do much, but it was going to heal back everything anyway from the Wish. Yep, that's fine. Jirachi is chunked down substantially at this point, so I will go into Pelipper now. This is a pretty obvious switch in, I feel like. I could go into Kartana as well and sub. And that is honestly kind of tempting. But I'm just really worried about like a random HP Fire, because that Giga Drain did do an okay amount to Pelipper, so I feel like this might be offensive. So I think I'm going to play it safe and just reset my Rain. Didn't make the best use of it, but I'm getting a lot of information out. Tangle actually switches out, but that's okay with me. And this is something new coming in. Thundurus? No. Oh, that's not. That's a Cofagrigus. Okay, that's fine. So this will allow me to just U-turn out next turn. And I'll probably go into Ludicolo. Just because with the Assault Vest, I can take things pretty well. Just worried about like another Trick Room going up. And these lefties are certainly annoying as well. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to U-turn out here. If I can break through these two, then my Rain will really be able to sweep through. So I need to just make sure I conserve Pelipper well. Yeah, I mean, the Mummy is fine since I'm switching out right now. I think Ludi is probably the best answer. Yeah, I can take a Will-O-Wisp or a Shadow Ball easily, and I can either Giga Drain or just start Hydro Pumping, or even Scalding. Trick Room might go up here. Yeah. So Shadow Ball, TR. Yeah, so this is kind of a long, drawn-out game thus far, but that's fine with me. Because now, like, you can't really switch Tangela that well. I'm going to just Scald here just to see how much damage it does, to get a sense of how bulky it is. And then I want to maybe start clicking Hydro Pump. Just don't want to deal with potential misses. But with the Assault Vest and Giga Drain, I should be able to heal back most of the damage that I take. And that actually does swap out, so maybe Tangela coming back in. It's actually Jirachi, which I'm okay with. So I get a free Scald off against Jirachi. That won't knock it out, but it'll put it in KO range after this next turn. Yeah, no burn surprising after 3 Scalds, but can't complain much about that. Yeah, I'm just gonna Scald again here. Yeah. Getting rid of Jirachi would be nice just because it is kind of annoying to deal with a Kartana and a Mimikyu. I don't know if as a Steel type attack is the last one, because we've seen Trick Room, Psychic, and Wish. But basically, like, he's not able to really do too much under Trick Room, so I just need to stall it out. And the Assault Vest on Ludicolo is definitely paying dividends as well. Like, another Psychic shouldn't even knock me under 50%. So I don't really know what he can go for here. I thought maybe Cofagrigus would want to stay in. But yeah, the goal is to just knock out the Trick Room users so that my Rain can sweep through. Because if you look at what he has in the back, like, it's Thundurus, Donphan, Suicune. And I have a pretty optimal matchup, especially once Thundurus takes the Stealth Rock damage. Because then that might just be in Waterfall KO range. And I still, of course, have my Focus Sash on Mimikyu as well. The only downside is I can't go for, like, the Swords Dance, play rough play. If he... Like, I can't Swords Dance in front of Thundurus, really. But it does allow me to... 1, switch into the Z move, and 2, deal with, let's see, switch into the Z move, and deal, yeah, that's the most important thing, so he doesn't get that extra damage output. But we'll see if Scald can take care of Jirachi. Could have Protect, but I feel like if it did, it would have gone for it, the turn that I switched out into Tangela. So he just swaps out. Okay, I mean, he's just wasting his own Trick Room right now. I'm getting free damage all across the board. It is going to be the Cofagrigus coming back in, so that's going to take some Spikes damage. I'm going to get Scald off against it. And we'll see how much it does. A very good amount, actually. Ooh, another one might just knock it out. It's close. I'm contemplating Hydro Pumping here. Ah, that is really close. I think another one might honestly knock out. I'm gonna go for it. I don't want to risk missing Hydro. Oh, it could have Pain Split. Yeah, I just realized. That's fine, though. Yeah, it's totally fine. Like, the thing is, he's just stalling out his own Trick Room right now, right? And I do get a burn finally, too, which is nice. So, that cancels out, basically... Like, Trick Room is slowly expiring. Sure, he's getting dividends off by... Like, we're trading damage, but I'll take that any day just because these are the bulkier Pokemon that I need to break through in order to win this game. So, it's the last turn of Trick Room, and I've still got 3 turns of Rain, which is nice. So, he's probably going to Pain Split again. Now, this time around, I might actually want to switch out. I mean, if you Pain Split here, I'll be able to just knock you out with Scald, but the thing is, I am taking damage in return. Now what I could do is actually switch into Mimikyu to take the Pain Split. But the question is whether he calls that and just Shadow Balls. I think I'm going to go for the switching into Mimikyu. Because it is normal type, so it wouldn't affect me, and then I could just Shadow Sneak for the knockout, or potentially get a Swords Dance off. If he reads this, definitely props to him. I don't think it's like an insanely difficult read to make, but I would Pain Split if I were him. Yeah. Wait, that still affects Mimikyu? Am I... Oh, wow. I totally screwed that up. I thought Mimikyu would be able to switch into Pain Split. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's still okay because Trick Room expires, so I'm just going to Shadow Claw here. But that was a pretty bad switch in because of that. I didn't know the mechanics of that. So that is a bad mistake. Probably Tangler coming in. Yep. Huh, why is that the case? It wasn't Mummy, right? That wasn't the reason why. Okay, well... It's the last turn of Rain now. I might actually finally switch into Kartana here. He hasn't been going for anything like HP Fire, so I think I will. And it is the last turn of Rain too, so even if he has HP Fire, it wouldn't knock me out. Ah, I didn't... I thought I had that with the... Like... Why does Pain Split just work against Ghost types? That could be why. I mean, in retro, like, I'm still okay with that play, just because Mimikyu comes in on the last turn of Trick Room. And it is still 6-on-6 right now. But, I don't know. And we're like 17 minutes into the game already. But I have to say I do like my position a decent amount still. So Kartana finally does come in, which means I could potentially get a sub up. Yeah, he's just gonna Giga Drain. Actually does a decent amount. But basically, like, I'm gonna sub this turn to scout out for whether he stays in or whether he has HP Fire. If he does, I'm gonna switch out into Pelipper. And if he switches out, that's a free sub for me. I don't want to Swords Dance here, though, just because I don't know what the full moveset of this Tangela is. We've only seen Giga Drain. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see, like, HP Fire. But the important thing is, like, Jirachi and Cofagrigus are both really heavily damaged, and I still have free Rain, or I was going to see free Rain with Rain. So, yeah, messing up with the Mimikyu there was kind of bad. I thought because Mimikyu is Ghost, that Pain Split just wouldn't affect me. So that was kind of bad. But, yeah, I don't mind, like, I still want to not, like, I want the AV basically still, on Ludicolo. And I want to, like, not take as much damage. And he does switch out, which is a free sub for me, which is quite nice. So this is something new coming in. Chargeable. Looks like Thunderous, yeah. Okay. So that's fine. I probably want to conserve my Z move, so I might just go for a Leaf. If I do Z move, though, then Mimikyu's Shadow Sneak could probably finish it off. How much does Z-Move do against Thunderous? If it's not invested at all. I might just knock it out if it's like, Whoa, Bloom Doom does so much. I'm actually gonna Bloom Doom here, I think. Because I don't really need it for anything else other than Suicune, but I've got Ludicolo for that. And if this is offensive Thunderous, I'll just knock it out. But he pulls out a Switch. That's a really nice play. Yeah, I could have Swords Dance there. That was a really good play. So he was probably baiting out the Z move, which is well done. But the thing is, like, when you switch out Thunderous, now next time he comes back in, it's just going to take another 25% from Rocks. So honestly, even forcing the switch out there is totally fine with me. But this is not going to do anything. Like, the annoying thing is, obviously, the Tangela is able to heal back consistently because of Regenerator. But dealing with Tangela isn't... Like, I'm not too concerned about that in the long run because I've got Pelipper, I've got Ludi. That still is an okay amount. I'm going to Swords Dance this turn because I'm really curious as to what he could possibly have. And if he can't break my sub, then that puts me in an immensely good position. But if he has HP Fire, I'm going to switch out into Pelipper next turn. That's a 20-minute game so far, no kills or KOs, but that's singles for you. Yeah, there's the hidden power. That's what I thought. Okay, good to confirm that. Yeah, so I could have just Smart Strike there, but I wanted to see whether he had it or not. Yeah, I'm just going to pull out the switch out of Pelipper here, just to get the rain up again. Yeah, the rocks are definitely helping, though. Thank you to those people that suggested it last week, because you can see how it's just making it a little bit easier for me throughout the course of the match. And by switching into Pelipper, I can also put on Hurricane Pressure. Like, Tango is probably going to want to swap out. So the question here is whether my opponent calls me switching Kartana out into Pelipper, because it is a relatively obvious switch out. And I could have gone for a potential second sub with Kartana. Yeah, that was a really nice play to bait out my Z move. I wish I kind of just Leaf Bladed. So, but that does indicate to me, like, maybe Thundurus is offensive. But Pelipper is going to come out now. Going to set the rain up again for me. And more important, like, I also have Hurricane Pressure now against this Tangela. So let's see if it swaps out. Oh, it Leech Seeds. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know it got that. That's fine with me. I mean, Hurricane should still do a substantial amount. So the question is whether I want to just Hurricane or U-turn. Yeah, if I U-turn, I could just go back out into Ludi, but I honestly want a Hurricane here because it would do a lot of damage. And if he swaps out, that's fine. Something's coming in, taking Rocks damage as well as Hurricane. And I could get a Confusion off here, too. And he switches out. Okay, that's fine. Into... is that? Yeah, Cough Rodriguez. Okay, that's fine with me. Because Hurricane plus a Scald should finish that off. Yeah. And I get a Confusion, which is nice. Cool. Is there any reason to Scald over Hurricaning? Scald would do more. You did heal back from Leech Seed, but the burn... yeah, either Scald or Hurricane should finish it off. So, I think I'd rather Scald in case we see a switch into the Thundurus. I just have to make sure I don't lose Pelipper because I'm going to have to reset Rain multiple times. And if he knocks out Pelipper, then I won't have my endgame against the... like, against Thundurus and Suicune. So I made a couple of small mistakes this game so far, but I think I should finally get my first knockout here. Yes, so that's finally gone. Which is obviously good to see. Thundurus could come in again, but I'm okay with that. I just wish I didn't lose my Sash on Mimikyu. That was a pretty bad mistake on my end. And I suppose that the stun... like, I'm assuming the Thundurus is going to have Grass Knot as well. So, 23 minutes, 1 KO. And definitely... a couple of small minor mistakes. I should have double-checked Pain Split onto Mimikyu. Because if that worked out for me, I would have been in a really nice spot. But that's fine. And then the other mistake, or not mistake, but I should have just played more conservatively with my Z move. Perhaps saved it for the endgame against Suicune when I know I could have gotten it off. But the thing is, Suicune is kind of the least of my concerns. Because I've got Ludi with Assault Vest, so Suicune can't really do much against me. Giga Drain's going to be able to heal me back a lot as well. And I've got Kartana. So, I don't know. I'd say, like, I'm, like, 60-70% content with my play, where it's, like, been okay with it, but I feel like I did miss out on some key points where I could have capitalized off it. But I do feel like I am in a decently commanding position right now. Knocking out one of the bulkier Pokemon, which is good. Jirachi is really heavily weak, and a Scald should be able to finish that off at this point. And, yeah. So we'll see what he switches in. He is taking a while here, but might as well take all the time you can use. So we've seen Leech Seed, Giga Drain, HP Fire from the Tangela. Thundurus didn't reveal anything. And we're going to see a new Pokemon come in here. It's going to be the Suicune, okay. So I think I'm just going to take this opportunity to U-turn out and go into Ludicolo. Although I'm contemplating hard switching, in case this has HP Electric, which I think is actually probably a slightly better play. So I'm going to switch out into Ludicolo directly. Because U-Turn's damage output isn't really that great anyway. He's not going to really stay... He's probably going to stay in with Suicune. So I'll be able to get Ludi in. And there's the hidden power. Okay, cool. Unless that's HP Poison. Yeah, nice. And it's Life Orb. Whoa. That I did not anticipate. Okay. I'm really glad I called that because had I not, that could have been really ugly. Giga Draining is obvious here. The Tangela switching is also kind of obvious, so I kind of want to just Ice Beam here. Ice Beam would cover Thundurus and Tangela. Giga Draining might honestly just be safer though, because like, Tangela doesn't pose an immediate threat to me with Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and HP Fire. So you know, I'm just going to Giga Drain here instead. You don't switch out, but that's fine. I think that's Tangela coming in. Yeah. So I could have Ice Beam there, obviously, but I wanted to just put on some pressure and potentially see... Oh, that did a lot. Is that a crit? Not even. Yeah, Tangela's special defense is rather poor, so I'm just going to Ice Beam here, I think. Like, Ludi is really good against this team, which is why I wanted to conserve it throughout the entire course of this match. I'm just going to double check what Tangela gets. Probably should have done that before I locked in. I've been playing pretty fast this game because I feel like my matchup is pretty good and it's like, just need to click buttons, but I should still take all the time I can get. But the thing is, like, Tangela really doesn't get access to very much. We know his HP Fire doesn't get any poison type attacks other than, it does get Sludge Bomb actually. Which would be annoying, but like with Assault Vest, as long as I don't get poison, I think I'm fine. So yeah, the AV Ludi is definitely paying dividends right now. And I'm slightly bulkier too, because I gave up some speed. Like, it was kind of risky, because if I were max speed, or sorry, if with this speed tier had Mega Beedrill actually come out, I'd be outsped by it, but Mega Beedrill looks awful in this matchup, honestly. So, he also hasn't been able to clear my rocks at all. I think Donphan's a spinner, right? So that is helping me out a lot as well. So yeah, I mean, we've seen 3 of the 4 attacks from Tangela, but I don't think... Like, the 4th worst case is Sludge Bomb. If Ice Beam just doesn't knock it out outright here. I don't think it would, but Sludge Bomb should not knock me out in return. As long as it doesn't crit poison. And he switches out, which I'm fine with, because I'm just putting on the pressure right now. Looks like back into Suicune, yeah. But like, I can just, you know, you're taking in chip damage constantly with the rocks. And like, I could freeze here with Ice Beam, and more, I can just Giga Drain again next turn. Yeah, that still is okay. How many turns of Rain are left? That's what I want to check. We have 2 turns of Rain. Okay. I really want to just Giga Drain here again, honestly. Like, the switch out is kind of obvious, but I'm cool with him taking chip damage constantly with the Suicune. Because now it's in KO range from a lot of different things. So I'm just going to Giga Drain here. Like, it would be so easy to call the switch out. I guess in retrospect, like... Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I thought, like, Ludi or Suicune might just stay in here. So I actually don't get the knockout there, but it's going to faint after the Life Orb, which is good. And I heal a ton. It's Signal Beam, that's cute. But I should take that decently well. I actually took more than I would have liked there, but Suicune does faint. Yeah. So that's good. It would have been nicer, obviously, had Giga Drain just knocked out, because I would have healed all that back too, but it is 6-4 now in my favor. Still got another turn of Rain. Ideally, like, what's been good this game is that I've been able to get Pelipper in freely at so many points, and that's because he has Tangela, right? Had that been HP Electric Tangela, actually, my life would have been a lot harder. But fortunately enough, it's not. And Jirachi's coming in, so it's going to take more rocks damage here as well. So, yeah, the pressure is really starting to come up now, I think. So, I'm just going to go for the safe Scald here, because I'm not sure an Ice Beam would knock out. And even if Tangela comes in, this is my last turn of Rain, so I can just switch into my Pelipper again. So you can see how, like, Rain has such an optimal matchup here in general. And yeah, he's just sacking the Jirachi, so that's good as well. So now we've got Tangela. Rain stops, but that's perfect for me, because now I can bring in Pelipper again. I might not even switch into Pelipper, depending on who's coming in here. Could be Thundurus. I believe that is Thundurus, yeah. I am worried about a substitute from Thundurus. So I kind of want to just Ice Beam instead of switching out into Pelipper. Because he only has 3 Pokemon, so he's got Tangela left. Which I can deal with pretty easily with all my special attackers. Tangela, Thunderous at around 50, and Donphan, which is off. Like, my whole team wins against Donphan. So if he's, like, I'm worried about, like, sub-nasty plot, like, those kind of attacks. So the question is here, does he just Thunderbolt? He'd have to Z-move to knock me out, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stay in with Ludi here, because even if he knocks me out, I get to switch it into Pelipper. And if he doesn't knock me out, Ice Beam will knock him out in return. But there is the Z-move. Okay, that's fine. I'm cool trading that off. Now, I could have switched into Swampert there, too, which would have been, like, a pretty nice play, but I'm, like, okay with that. I'm okay with losing Ludi here for him to give up his Z-move. Because that also means he can't one-shot my Kingdra now. And Kingdra might honestly be able to come in and just Ice Beam everything now with Specs. Yeah, so, like, the main reason I made that play was because if he is sub and he gets the sub up, that's, like, the one way I can see him really getting back into this. But now I can just bring in my Pelipper again. It doesn't seem like he has really a good way to stop the rain either, so I'm just gonna Scald here. He should probably Thunderbolt to knock me out, but I don't want to risk, like, switching into Swampert. Actually, maybe switching to Swampert's okay, but basically, I'm really worried about the sub-nasty plot combination. And once I get the free switch into Kingdra, I can just Ice Beam everything. So I think now it's finally okay to lose my Pelipper to get my Kingdra in. So I'm gonna Scald here. Like, Thunderbolt is, like, the obvious play from his end. And, of course, if he overpredicts, if he subs or if he Grass Knots, then I also get a lot off that. But, you know, keep in mind, should Thunderous go for... Should it take any more damage, it won't be able to switch out and in safely because I've got the rocks up. So, like, last turn, you know, I could have switched out into Pelipper, I could have switched out into Swampert, but if I... and he does Grass Knot, there we go. Yeah, I should survive that. Nice. Yeah. That's exactly why I didn't switch into Swampert. This Skull doesn't get the knockout, and no burn, unfortunately, either. But that's okay with me. Now I can probably switch into Kingdra, I think. I don't think even a crit Thunderbolt would knock me out. I think it's more optimal to switch into Kingdra. Just because Pelipper is actually pretty good against Tangela as well. I could also switch into Pert, but if he calls it and Grass Knots it, that'd be kind of bad. Alternatively, I could just sack my Pelipper. I'm trying to think, like, maybe it's just better to sack Pelipper. But I would like to have it against Tangela, so I think I will switch into Kingdra here. Yeah. Because I know he can't sub anymore. I really want to switch into Pert there, because, like, I stayed in last turn. He does Grass Knot again. Okay, cool. Yeah. Jeez, I actually take a lot from that. But now I can just Ice Beam. Yeah, I mean, he kind of has to stay in and just get knocked out. So I'm just going to lock myself in Ice Beam. Nice. Thunderous is down. So he's got 2 Pokemon left, and they're Donphan and Tangela, both which are not very offensive Pokemon. And I'm Specs Kingdra. So, let's see. He's used up his Z-move as well, so I don't have to worry about, like, a huge burst of offense. And I believe that's Tangela coming back in, which I'm totally fine with. I think I'm just going to stay in an Ice Beam here, honestly. Specs Ice Beam, probably 2 shots this thing, and it shouldn't be able to knock me out in return. Yeah, the rain matchup was just really good in this, in general, I think. Especially without much way to really control the weather on his end. Wow, that just gets the knockout. Jeez, Specs Ice Beam is strong. Nice. Definitely, I mean, it should be game at this point, but I'm pretty happy about how I played this. I think there were a couple of places where it's like, oh, I could have made an aggressive read or prediction, but the Stealth Rock recommendation from you guys definitely came through. The Specs Ice Beam knockout, because I do want to take into account Battle Differential right now. It's probably more optimal to switch into Swampert. Yeah, I'm going to switch out in Pert. Although I guess I should have done that calc, but I just would like to have 5 Pokemon. So Swampert against Donphan. Oh, just play rough. Good thing I switched out, I guess. Yeah, I take that like a champ. And now I can just Waterfall. Woof! Nice. We got our first knockout at like 20 minutes, but we were able to steamroll really quickly. Yeah, I'm really glad I got the early Rock Song, and we do manage to get a win, so we're 2-2 now in the league. So I'm pretty happy about that, just because, I mean, playing singles again, I'm just, like, completely new to me again, but I feel like this match really just came down to me having a very good matchup and just playing well with the tools that I had. I made a couple of small blunders. The main one I would say was losing my, bringing in Mimikyu the turn that I did into this pain split, because that just totally caught me off guard. So that was something I should have double checked. And then I still don't like mind my decision to Z move with Cortana there, just because if I do nuke the Thundurus, then eliminating Thundurus was my biggest goal, because once Thundurus is out of the way, then range just becomes so much easier to really use and set up. But ultimately, yeah, like he wasn't able to do very much damage at all with Pokemon like Jirachi, Cofagrigus, and Tangela. So even though like the beginning of the game was just very long and drawn out, the Assault Vest on Ludicolo also made my life a lot easier. I was thinking about Life Orb, but I ended up going with the Assault Vest because I feel like, oh, you've got all these special attackers, and that's exactly what he ended up bringing. The AV just makes it so that I can take the attacks a lot nicer. So kind of taking a page from my VGC book, or VGC in general, but definitely paying off. So yeah, good game to Crimson. It was really fun, and I'm looking forward to next week. We are 2-2 now, but I feel like like both of the games I lost to were very winnable games. So I feel like the team itself is definitely strong. I just need to make better plays. And this week I didn't make incredible plays, but I had a good matchup to begin with, so that made my life a lot easier. And fortunately enough, we were able to carry that matchup through. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. The Melbourne Rotoms are going to improve to 2-2, but we've got a really tough matchup for next week, so hopefully be able to prep for that and put in the time and get a W there. But yeah, really happy about this, and that does give us a good amount of a boost in terms of battle differential as well, since we did win 5-0. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, please show your support by leaving a like. Go check out my opponent and his perspective, linked in the description below, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, peace.